Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica!
Dana,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I am Jessica Young.
Jessica, how was your week?
It was really good. I went to the LA Opera for the first time.
I'm so jealous. I have always wanted to go to the opera and nobody wants to go with me.
Well, I'm going to take you. It was really, really stunning. I forgot how big the production was. I feel dumb saying that, but yes, the same thing goes on with plays, but the level of set design, the lighting design, it was the clemency of Titus.
Also, isn't Placido Domingo the artistic director?
Yes, one of the three tenors.
Yes.
And he does one show a year.
I bet it's impossible to go see.
I don't know that it is, and I'm shocked that it isn't because he's one of the most famous in the world.
I know. I actually was into opera for quite a while. My high school boyfriend is a professional opera singer.
What?
Yeah.
Amazing.
He was like a child prodigy.
Did he do that later, or did he like
no,
as a
when
kid?
I was dating him. Yeah, in high school.
Is he a eunuch?
No.
Oh.
No, he's like married and has kids and stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah, and his current wife, he was married previously, but his current wife is also a famous opera singer. She travels to Italy a lot and stuff.
Oh,
I don't know why I'm shouting him out. He's my ex. Like, we don't talk. We're not friends.
But he's an opera singer.
But he's an opera singer, and a very, very good one.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take you to the opera.
I want to go.
I think the Placido show that's coming up is called Don Gato, if I'm correct.
Awesome.
That's the one that he's in, and then he's in a huge show for the following season. But it was really unbelievable, and the set design was spectacular. And when Rome catches on fire, I cannot believe what they did to have the flames. Yeah, it was really, really spectacular.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I ate a giant burger and fries from a place and got sick. So
What? What?
That's how my week was. That wasn't even for a week. It was one day. But you know how when you're sick, you feel like, what the heck? This isn't fair, especially when it's from something you ate.
Do you think it was food poisoning, like tainted meat? Or do you
think so. I think
you're not used to eating greasy burgers?
I think I just don't eat like that as much anymore, which is a shame because I love it. And I'm kind of like, I told my girlfriend, I'm like, what is wrong with us? As we get older, we can eat less and less things. And she's like, pretty soon we're only going to be able to eat vegetables, which I realize some people do.
Right.
I would die. I only like 3 vegetables.
Do you like cauliflower?
Nope.
Okay.
Go ahead. Throw some more at me.
No, I was just going to say that is something I hated as a kid. And
can't stand it. Riced cauliflower, pizza cauliflower. Everybody's into it.
I don't need all those weird incarnations of it that I know people go for and say is just as good. No, it's not. I love taking a whole head of cauliflower because I can't cook and I'm horrible at it, and roasting it. And it's so good. No, it's so good.
Let's talk about how people can get a hold of us.
You can follow us on Instagram at the Rants and Raves Podcast. Also on Facebook, the Rants and Raves Podcast. Our website, therantsandravespodcast.com. Email us at the rantsandravespodcast@gmail.com. And all of those are case sensitive, and you must put the to find us, with the exception of Twitter at Raves_the.
I feel like we just gave people an assignment, like a mystery. What was Encyclopedia Brown? We're like, try and find us.
Or the Bloodhound Gang from 321 Contact.
It's the master.
Yes.
So
is the answer. It's the reason.
Everyone does test contact.
I love it because you know the exact tune and don't know the words, and that's me too when I try to recall that song. Oh, that is so good.
I feel like the Bloodhound Gang was a little too mathy for me.
It was also a little bit serious for like younger kids. It was almost like a drama, almost like a procedural, if you will.
I will. So we need people. Here's why we give you our contact information. Obviously, Jessica and I can talk forever.
Yes.
But we want to talk about things that bug you too, and things that you're proud of and you want to rave about or shout somebody out. And also, guys, please listen, rate, review, subscribe. That helps us out a lot. We really want to grow this community and spread positivity around the world.
And thank you to those of you who have written in, because we have gotten some very fun rant ideas. And again, keep the rants coming in, but also please, like Dana said, give us some raves. Shout out something local in your community, just something that's fun. It can be anything.
It can be anything. And we don't care if it's local. We want to shout out your local communities. And also that is an inspiration to others. Like you might tell a story about a local organization or an event or something in your community and inspire someone else around the world to do something similar.
Exactly.
Should we get into our rants for the week?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to start this week.
Oh, I think you're a little fired up.
I am fired up. I have some thoughts about this. Now, this is from a listener, okay? And I'm just going to read it to you as is. So, I teach, this is not me. Should I do a voice? No. So, I teach preschool, and I love when kids say cute stuff like pumpkin. Like with an N, you know? Yes. Pumpkin. But I used to work with this teacher that would legit say pumpkin instead of pumpkin. Wait, pumpkin instead of pumpkin. It's hard when you're just reading it. And she would also say, oh, this gives me tingles in a horrible way. And she would also say Valentimes Day, T-I-M-E-S, which I know a lot of people say. Anyway, but two things that put me over the edge is how she would stand too close behind me when I would fill up my water bottle. And also she would open and close her mouth when she would cut with scissors.
Oh, my Lord.
Like when she opened and closed the scissors. That's hilarious to me.
That's really creepy.
No, okay, let's save that for a second and just go back to Valentine's Day and pumpkin.
Yeah.
Pumpkin with an N, I'm like, that could just be an accent. Valentimes?
It's not an accent.
Valentimes is a choice.
Yes.
Yeah, my best friend, who I love dearly, there are very few things about her that bug me. She legit says she's going to change into her comfy clothes.
No.
And she uses it in conversation, like...
And she means it. She's not doing it to be funny.
I don't think. But she'll say, I just got home. Hold on, give me a second. I got to change into my comfy clothes.
I can't. These are grown women who know better, right?
Not the especially the teacher. Children. The teacher that stands too close, you're supposed to be teaching your kids personal space, so I don't know what your problem is.
Yes, I hate when people do that.
I don't care if I'm filling a water bottle or just like whatever.
Yep.
I was going to say zipping up my pants, but I don't know why she would be in a bathroom stall with me. That would legit be a problem.
Did you need help wiping?
Oh, God. No, lady, get out. I don't like, also, this might be controversial. Do you know that people are now allowed to, and I won't do it, but I can't call somebody out because A, that makes me a bitch. And also, it's apparently now in the dictionary.
What?
Conversate.
Conversate. That sounds like a made up
That's what
word.
I think. But it is now not eligible. It's now acceptable to say, when we conversate about blah,
instead
blah.
of when we talk.
Converse.
Converse. Yes, thank you.
Converse is the appropriate, what I would consider appropriate.
Having a conversation.
Yeah.
Conversate sounds like some of the words that Bush made up. God bless him.
Oh.
Like compassionativity.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You just did an accent. You cannot stop yourself.
Coming to a city near you, Jessica does accents.
It's a one-woman show. And sometimes they're not like real accents. They're just impersonations.
Or good. Admittedly so. Not good. Something takes over and I can't control myself.
Well, irregardless, what we're talking about.
No, Dana, no. You are not Paulie from The Sopranos.
Oh my God.
Irregardless, not a word.
No, it's not. It's not a word. Now, my writing partner does say it, but he says it with a wink, like joking,
right.
Because it's wrong.
What about intensive purposes instead of intense and purposes?
Yeah, intensive is like a test purposes instead of deep purposes, right?
Yes. I will tell you, like, I get really annoyed when people mispronounce words. I don't think everyone has to be an expert, but especially when you've heard it proper from either the waiter or someone at a store pronouncing it for you, and they just will not go for that. My mom was the opposite and would pronounce any word. My husband does this a lot too, in the proper pronunciation of that language.
No, I can't handle. I get onto people for that. It drives me insane.
The only person that's allowed to do that is Alex Trebek.
Oh, okay. I don't even accept that, to be honest.
I don't either.
I know
but
he's ill right now, but I should probably give him a pass. Poor guy.
It is really sad.
But I also, people make a choice to do things like that. I hate it when I'm with someone at a drive-thru and they're like, yeah, I'll take 3 shrimp tacos and quesadilla and carne asada. Like, no, they know you're trying and they're going to spit in your food for being dumb.
Well, that's what my mom used to do when we went to Mighty Casey's. Did you have Mighty Casey's? It was
that sounds like a...
It's like named after like a real old-time baseball player. It was like a hot dog and hamburger joint.
Yeah.
And they had the chicken cordon bleu, right? But my mom always had to say, the cordon bleu.
Stop.
Just like she would never order a croissant. She would say, and 2 croissant.
Croissant?
I would be mortified. And she's like, well, that's how you pronounce it.
I like El Pollo Loco commercials. I love that they use the accent, but don't go super American when you're talking like fine print and then go into...
I hate when they use the accent.
You
El
do?
Pollo Loco's pretty Americanized, right?
Yeah.
And I hate their commercials because that jingle haunts me in my sleep.
Sing it.
El Pollo Loco. El Pollo Loco. El Pollo Loco.
That has to go in your home show. Or when people say words and drop a letter, that also infuriates me. To say human nature.
No.
It's
or
human. We are
herbs.
No,
They're
no.
herbs.
They're herbs. Everybody knows.
Except I do say, well, no, I say herbal essence. I was just about to say I buy herbal essence shampoo, but I don't.
I don't either.
I buy herbal essence.
Oh, are we contradicting ourselves?
I guess. No. We're saying it correctly.
If it was just herb.
Why is there a silent H in the English language? It's
Our
not
language
like
is hard
French.
to understand. There's a lot of contradictory things.
The H is silent
Let's
in
just
hotel.
stop talking. Should
France.
we just stop talking? Just have an hour of dead air.
Oh my God.
What? You got so excited.
I did, because I just recalled something I forgot to tell you earlier, and I sent you a picture and it didn't come in real time. Remember how we talked about Shen Yun?
Yeah.
So when I was at the...
You know that it on all of my social media is advertisements now, and I told you it's because of you.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone is now on board now that I've posted about it. When I went to the opera, that was the first thing in the program.
I love it.
I'm sorry, like it's on my mind and I just had to shout that out.
Shen Yun.
Shen Yun.
Stop whispering it. Okay, well, I love that rant from a listener because it's very true.
Yes.
For children, it's adorable. But when an adult woman says to me, would you like some sketty? No.
Ew.
Mm-mm.
Was her name Honey Boo Boo?
No. No, but I mean,
ketchup,
sketty.
butter, and skitty.
I know, I remember that. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I would eat it.
Ew, no. I would not eat anything that Mama June made.
Well, I'm not saying I would eat it from their house. I'm saying I might make it for myself. Lord knows if my body will allow me to eat it.
I wouldn't try it. It's probably made with Olestra or some of that crap that used to be in snack foods in the 90s.
What are you talking about? The butter?
Just any of that stuff that was artificial. Remember when it started really in the 80s and then in the 90s, like when everything became fat-free.
Yeah.
And it all tasted like crap. But that main ingredient, Olestra, which was in like the original incarnation of baked chips, it's like basically a derivative of some kind of petroleum product or something.
It makes you poop, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, you better have time to get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
If you're
instant.
lucky.
Sure. Did you say member in the 90s when?
Yeah. Yeah.
You dropped the re.
Snackwells. Did you ever have those disgusting
I will still
things?
eat Snackwells.
Ew, they were so gross.
Literally, I made Dan Tipton buy me a box 3 weeks ago. The devil's food cake.
The day that I can afford to send you a gourmet gift basket from not some grody place with their half stale BS stuff that stores had in overstock for years, I'm going to send you delights from like Goldbelly or something where you can get things from all over the globe. And I'm going to find you the best devil's food cake so that you never eat a Snackwell again. Do you understand?
Okay, but is it going to make me fat?
Well, you have like a cookie.
No.
Not the box of cookies,
no, right? Jessica, I don't have...
Everything in moderation.
I don't have discipline.
You know what? I don't with certain things, so I don't buy them. But I've now bought things like turbinado and sea salt almonds.
That sounds amazing.
They're really good. And it's
I don't even know what turbinado is. Do they have an engine on them?
It should. It's that nasty raw sugar that does not dissolve, especially in an iced coffee. Have you ever used a raw sugar packet?
Yeah, but it's ridiculous.
It's like granules of
forever
boulders.
Yeah, you're crunching your drink.
It's not good. But turbinado on these almonds, it's so finely done, and it like gives you the salty sweet fix. And again, you have like a few. You don't want to eat the container of the almonds.
Says you.
I told you I'm picking things that I will not want to take the whole container down.
Yeah.
Like ice cream, forget. The whole thing. That's kind of
Ben and Jerry's selling those things, and I think it says it's like 2.5 servings. I'm like, then why are you selling it in this?
Oh, okay.
Because I'm eating the whole thing at one sitting.
I totally agree. So they have come out with mini cups. I don't know what they call them, but it's one scoop. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen them, but that would just make me angry.
They have them in the grocery. They're of a wee size. I mean, it's something you look like you would give a small child. But I bought those recently because I'm like, okay, I don't have to feel bad. Here's the one scoop instead of the tub.
Was it satisfying?
It was.
Okay.
I also, of course, added chocolate syrup to it and a cookie that I had. And I mean, who am I kidding? I turned it into a sundae. Okay. Not saving any calories there.
Well, listen, we all do our best.
Do we?
We say we do so we feel better. Okay, what's your rant this week?
My rant comes to us
by the way, thank you, listener, for that rant.
Yes.
That was perfect. Obviously, it got us riled up.
And I'm going to have to think of more things as we encounter them that people do, like your coworker cutting her scissors and opening
Oh my God, we didn't talk about that enough. That's so weird. I've definitely met people that when you're talking, they mouth your words, and that drives me crazy. like
Fred Willard and Catherine O'Hara and Waiting for Guffman.
Yes, I cannot handle that. Oh my God, you just reminded me, speaking of Guffman and those guys, I have a celebrity. Will you remind me in our corners? I have a celebrity sighting to talk about. Okay, sorry, I derailed us. I might edit that out. Listen, we're just in the moment. We're just living free, whatever comes to our brains. Chomp, chomp, cut.
Oh my God. I also do not like, I will say this really quick, I do not like when people call things out, or like you said, or like mouthing your words.
When I said, did you just say member?
Exactly. I do not need you as somebody who's ringing me up to name everything I'm buying. I feel like Michael Keaton in Mr. Mom when the guy's like doing a price check in front of the whole grocery for maxi pads. Like, I don't need, there's a little market by me and the guy calls out. He does it? Everything as he does, and he thinks it's so funny. It's years I've been going there, and if my total is $10.12, he's like, and you owe $1,012.
He's a comedian.
It's never been funny to me. I never laughed the first time. I'm certainly not laughing the 100th time.
Oh, God. He's just trying to find joy in his job, Jessica.
I know.
It would be annoying. There's a guy at the Bevmo near me that he is the happiest man alive, I think, or he's a serial killer and it's his cover. But every time you walk in, he's like, well, hello. And then while you're in the store, if it's somebody's birthday, you will hear him singing happy birthday.
No way.
And he also sings a lot of Taylor Swift. Just bellows it.
I think he might take a good career change and be a greeter at IKEA. With all that exuberant energy, like I don't need that when I'm going in to buy a 6-pack of beer.
You're like, I don't need that happiness in the liquor store. Take that shit to IKEA.
Oh, that's God. So funny.
That a store has a specific mood. You're like, if I'm drinking, it's because I need an escape or I'm mad. Don't bring that happiness into my Bevmo.
Also, how does he know it's people's birthday?
When you card them.
Oh, he's like, well, looky there, it's your birthday.
Yeah, he doesn't live in the hills. Like, the hills don't have eyes, Jessica. But
them gold up in them there hills. Your total will be $14.97.
Where you headed after this? Bunch of kids went up to the mountains last week. Never heard from them again.
They probably bought moonshine.
You make moonshine. You don't buy it.
No, they sell it now. It's not the real kind of moonshine.
Yeah.
Like out of a still in someone's bathtub backyard
You can
shed.
get like corn whiskey and stuff.
Yeah, but like there's a whole movement of, another thing that became
popular.
Hip.
Yeah.
But you can buy, and of course they sell it in a mason jar.
Uh-huh.
But there are moonshine companies, but that ain't the moonshine that you and I knew about growing up.
Yeah.
I remember somebody opening a jar of it. Like my friend's dad, and his dad was like a pilot and like a very... I don't know, just an amazing man. Mm-hmm. Very like put together and whatever. Not somebody you would picture having moonshine in the house.
Right.
That sounds awful. But he had a jar of moonshine from a friend, and I remember he opened it and I could smell it from across the room, and I think it burned the hair out. I was going to
say, did your eyebrows shrink? Did it burn your eyebrows?
I've never tried it. I don't think I ever could.
I've had corn whiskey, but I don't think I could do moonshine.
Do you know about Popcorn Sutton, the founder of moonshine?
No.
I learned about him when I went to a friend's wedding in Tennessee.
What?
He was like the
Why
king
did you have to take a class at your friend's wedding?
Oh, I didn't take a class. I went into a store and my eyes bugged out because you would not believe how many types of moonshine they sold. And then the guy working at the store told me they got into the history of Popcorn Sutton, and they were selling the book about him.
That was a man's name, Popcorn?
Popcorn Sutton, and he looks exactly as you'd picture him.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to post a picture of Popcorn Sutton. I might write a movie about his life.
Probably not. Okay,
Touché.
We still haven't gotten to your rant. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
It's okay. And this kind of all runs in with what we've been talking about with the cashiers and whatever. I like to be greeted when I go into a store. Do you?
Yeah, more than you, apparently, because you don't want happy shit at Bevmo. You want that at IKEA.
I just need a simple eye contact and a hello. That's really all I require, right? I don't want somebody following me around.
Sure.
Being too aggressive.
Yeah, I hate that.
I will tell you, somebody else wrote in to that is a retail consultant with a whole list of all the different types of customers and people at the store. So it brings up the point of not being greeted at all or being aggressively greeted. I cannot deal with being followed around the store and making felt like you might steal something. Certain stores act like that, like Urban Outfitters. Okay.
Oh.
They're trained. I used to work for that company. They are all over everybody all the time. And I think that's like PTSD left over from when I worked there.
Sure.
There's that. And then there's people who are on their phone and don't even look up. Haven't you ever walked in somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm. I used to work retail too, and I hated it when I would say hello to someone and they ignore you like you're an animal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the store associate is ignoring you. They are literally texting and embedded on their phone. And
that would make me mad.
Wow, I walked through your entire store. Not once did you look up, and not once did you even say hello. But on the flip side, I've worked in retail for many, many years, and no matter who came into the store, what they were acting like, anything, I greeted everyone with a hello and a smile, and I just said hello or hi, how are you doing today? 9 times out of 10 the answer was, I'm just looking.
Oof.
And my answer was, and I'm just saying hi.
Oh God. I don't know how you worked in retail for so long.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I didn't say that the majority of the time.
But you wanted to.
That's where my mind went. But finally one day, it was like the 10th person had come in. And I'm just like, hi, how are you? And I'm doing my work. I was like merchandising in the store. I'm not going to try to sell you something that's $200.
Right.
I just couldn't help it. They were so vehement with the I'm just looking. It's like, hey, you just stepped into our place of business.
Yeah.
You don't need to be rude. And I just had to say to them, well, I'm just saying hi. And they didn't know how to react to that.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like just the common decency.
Just say hello. Or
people.
Nod. You don't have to talk. We don't, you don't have to teach me the entire history of whiskey. But you can if I'm into it,
That's
right?
true.
That's interesting. You have a lot of good retail stories.
I have so many weird experiences.
I know.
We can talk for days about that.
I know. Retail is difficult. So is waiting tables.
I was so bad at waiting tables.
I was too.
I did it for years. I was not destined to be a server.
No.
Big props to the people out there who do it day in and day out. And people that are good are good.
They're great. Yeah.
It's effortless. I could not carry 1 cup of coffee to the table without half of it spilling out. And I couldn't carry it on. Everything was on a tray and I would be shaking like
I
a robot.
An iced lemonade on a newborn baby.
No.
And I tried to catch it with my hip because that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And crushed the pin in my pocket so that lemonade and ink were dripping down my pants.
Oh my God.
And while I was cleaning that up, a tin top table ran out on their check on me. So not only did I have a furious mom, a screaming baby, a mad boss, ink pants, but I had to pay for 10 people to eat at Applebee's. I didn't make any money that day.
No, that's terrible. And anyone that ever has had that happen to them, my heart goes out to you. Because to me,
awful.
That's the dirtiest. Even when someone has horrible service, I'm always like, well, I'm not going to give them 20%. You know what? When it's bad service, I usually still give them the 20%, as mad as I am. And then when someone is exceptional, I will tip them over that accordingly.
If you walk out, this is for anyone. If you ever walk out on a check, you really need to check yourself because...
Oh, you just made a pun, Dana.
I did. I'm not proud of it.
It's very nutty behavior on your part.
David Walton. Who was that guy? Was that guy's name? Anyway. No, but that's like, people are busting their butts just to make a living, and you made them take you out to dinner for free, you fucking thief.
Did you... ever get that fake bill that people would leave? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. That was like, have a nice day?
No, there was something in the 90s when I was a waitress, and I will never forget it. It is a piece of paper, looks like a counterfeit bill, I guess, but it's folded up and you think, oh my God, they tipped me a 20.
Oh, wow.
And then you open it and see how it's folded. It's just like printed a corner of it to look like a $20 bill, and you open it and it's printed. It's not even handwritten. This was something that somebody obviously sold and or made and just passed out wherever they were, saying, this is your tip. It is not my responsibility to pay for you. You chose to work in a job that should pay you better.
No.
I can't, and like that actually put me over the edge. I actually remember like walking out of work and just sobbing.
Mean.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, here's your tip, Jesus loves you or something.
No.
That's just mean.
Yeah. But I also recall not getting tipped when I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, which was my first job.
Are you supposed to tip at Dunkin' Donuts?
If you sit at the counter and get your coffee refilled 10 times, I best believe you'd be tipping. And we would have a lot of people come in. God, my favorite one was this older postal worker. He was like there the minute we opened at 6 a.m. before he started his shift. He would come in for like a coffee and donut, and he always tipped us. And for, again, at the time, he probably gave us $1, but that was huge for his cup of coffee and donut. But most people would come in, get something and a coffee, again, at least 10 refills, and say their bill is $1.95. They'd leave us $2 and say, keep the change. 5-cent tip split between two 14-year-old girls running wild to make sure the French crullers are filled.
Oh my God. Yeah, when I worked at a bingo hall, it was a lot of nickel and dime tips.
So rude. Do you know what we were able to do with those tips? We made so little. We worked from 6 a.m. till noon. What a shift. We made enough that my friend Marianne and I, who I worked with, She lived down the street from me, one of my best friends to this day that I grew up with. We made enough money that we could go next door to Taco Bell and each order something off the dollar menu.
Yeah.
After 6 hours of blood, sweat, and tears, and almost getting fired because we used to give boxes of munchkins for free to football players from our school that came in.
Oh, Jessica. Only football players?
Yeah, the hot ones.
Yeah. Oh my God, you didn't even give them to ugly ones?
They didn't come in.
Oh, they were sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible.
You know what I mean when somebody walks in and they're like a senior and you're a freshman. You're like, oh my God, that dreamboat.
Oh, no.
No?
I didn't work. I worked when I was in college. I didn't do wait tables, and I didn't have a job that in high school.
I did. We just wanted to. And our friend JT that lived in the neighborhood, his dad owned one of the franchises. But even JT didn't work there. That's what's even more hilarious. But we wanted to work.
When I went to Applebee's to interview, I put in my application. I had a pre-interview, and then I was interviewing with the managers for a second time. And the second manager came up, and I was like, oh God, oh my God. Oh no, on New Year's Eve last year, we totally messed around. But he didn't say anything, and neither did I. We both just stared at each other with huge eyes for a minute, and we never spoke about it.
And you ended up working there?
Yeah, for a while.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, never talked about it.
I think I would have excused myself and then like left skid marks in the street.
I thought you were saying you shit your pants.
No, I meant peeling out of the parking lot.
All right, I have to make us move on because we have more stuff to cover. We should definitely do a cleansing breath.
Yes, yeah. I think we
If you're alone in your car, I encourage you to scream. Are we ready? In. And. Oh my God, I love it.
I love it.
We're going to move into a corner. So I'm going to push us into Can You Believe That? You have a story you want to share with us, Jessica?
I do. This is very cool and very innovative. This is a 28-year-old Canadian inventor.
Oh.
Another Canadian.
Jessica loves Canadians.
A 28-year-old Canadian inventor has developed a specialized set of contact lenses that can correct color blindness.
Can you believe that?
No, I think it's amazing because I know a few people that are colorblind, and I'm picturing the glasses that they have to wear.
Yes. And
not that that's a bad thing, but this is life-changing, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Her name is Gabrielle Masson, or Massone. She first became inspired to design the lenses based on her own experience with vision problems as a child. After studying chemistry in college, she launched Colorsmith Labs as a means of developing the corrective lenses. So part of what's so cool about this is just like anybody who wears regular lenses, I imagine, they now don't have to wear their glasses, but they're not just regular glasses.
No, there's a quote in that article of her. She says, "We all love Bono, U2's lead singer, but no one wants to look like him every day." Which I love. She's not wrong.
No, it's funny. And she says she hopes this will save people the annoyance of having to wear bulky tinted glasses.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I can't believe that we can fix that at all ever anyway.
I agree.
And that it's now become something you can just pop in your eyeball. Yeah. I mean, I hope that happens quick. I think that's really amazing.
And it doesn't require, it's a non-invasive way to correct an issue.
Yes.
There's nothing funny about that, but I have to tell you now that we're saying this, the man who made our leather goods for a company I worked for was colorblind.
Uh-huh.
And we would oftentimes get orders back, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'd call him and I'd say, you gave us red belts. These are supposed to be turquoise. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm colorblind. I'm like,
okay, but you have to ask somebody before you ship.
That was my point. I'm like, I am not being rude. I'm like, you have a staff of many people.
Yeah.
And you didn't think to pull one of them over?
Yeah.
And say, can you make sure these colors match up? I gave you a swatch of everything on a paper. Because I'm the queen of over explaining things. Yeah.
That's not good.
I might reach out to him. It's been a long time and tell him about these lenses. No. Tell him about these lenses. He wore regular glasses. He didn't wear glasses to help with being colorblind.
I think they're expensive and not necessarily easy to get a hold of.
They're not like those vampire eyes that you can get at costume stores.
Yeah, no, we can get those anytime we want now.
At Halloween Town?
Yeah. They have like 150 different kinds of contact lenses.
Yeah, and they're open year round.
Yeah.
It's magical.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, I don't really have a smooth transition out of that. I just wanted to do a shout out corner real quick for my lovely little sister.
Aww.
I think that, I'm getting to that age now where my parents' health is failing and I feel a lot of guilt about being so far away. And my little sister is the only one that still lives in town. Me and my middle sister have moved away, and she's really taking the brunt of the responsibility for helping them out. And I just wanted to give her a shout out and tell her that I love her and say to anyone listening out there, if you're a person that is helping someone in your family who is ill or elderly, like, it is appreciated. And I don't know really how to express my feelings about it. It might make me cry, but anyway, if you're doing that, it's a sacrifice, and people get that, and you're doing it out of love, and I understand, and don't be afraid to talk about it or reach out if you need help.
Absolutely,
is what I wanted to say.
And it is sad as we get older, right?
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can go at any time, but we've both personally known a lot of friends within the last 3 months.
Yes.
That have had a family member become very sick or pass. So our hearts go out to you, and huge props to your sister for
thanks, lady.
taking that on.
She's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I'm going to end our corner section with the celebrity story I just remembered at the beginning of the show.
Oh, yes.
Because this just happened. So... So Jessica and I live in Los Angeles, and we're in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Hope you've been entertained so far. But because of where we live, we sometimes have celebrity sightings.
Yeah.
And this one, I've seen her before. I've worked on a show she was on, but I don't know her personally. We have a lot of mutual friends. So the other night I was doing a show for my friend Taylor Williamson, who's a stand-up. He was on American. So he did a talk show, and it was very funny and silly. And we had to be there early. So it was at the Groundlings in their little small theater space. And so I was standing outside, and I couldn't remember the code, and I was trying to find his number. And all of a sudden I see in the reflection behind me, there's a woman behind me. She's looking upstairs at the classroom on the second floor, waving her arms, going, "Hi, you guys, hi. Hi."
I wish you could see Dana right now.
I turn around. It's Jennifer Coolidge from American Pie, Waiting for like all of the Christopher Guest things. Oh,
yeah.
I love her so much. And she's everything you would ever dream. She's completely chaotic. She's ridiculously funny. She had on the most amazing faux fur teal coat I've ever seen in my life. I was so jealous. I kept staring at it. I'm sure I looked like a weirdo. But like, they were there to do a table read or rehearse a table read for some friends of mine. And so when she was waving at them, somebody came and opened the door for me. So I kind of waited and looked at her like, okay, you can come in with me. I know you're not somebody on the street trying to break it. Like, it's fine.
Yes.
But she didn't come in. She was still waving. So I just left her.
Amazing.
And so I go into the theater, and I'm like, you guys, hey guys. They're like, Dana. And I'm like, before we get into this, Jennifer Coolidge is on the street waving her hands in the air. She may not be there now, but they were like, you just left her out there? I'm like, well, I held the door and she didn't walk in. I didn't want to be like, come on, Jennifer. Like, we don't know each other.
Would you have called her by her first name?
No, never. So I go out into the hallway. She is still on the sidewalk waving her arms like she's directing airplanes.
Do you think she was just trying to like wave to someone she knew, or that she was trying to get someone's attention to let her in the building?
She knew the people up there, I think. And so we came out, and then somebody else we knew, I was like, oh, I think maybe someone's out there for you. And he was like, oh yeah, it's her. So let her in and stuff. And then I hung around super awkwardly because she was there, and Michael Patrick King, who created Sex and the City. Yeah. And Two Broke Girls, which I had worked with him before. And I also know his nephew, Matt Cook.
Oh, wow.
And so I was awkwardly standing around like, hey, I know you guys. In a minute, I'll get the balls to say something. But I never did. So I was just a weirdo who slinked off into another room after not letting Jennifer Coolidge into the building.
It's hard to be in those
I thought that was a funny story until you reacted the way you did.
know, because I feel bad because I think everyone's been there at some point, right? Like anyone that you've met or you remember them and you're like, they're not going to remember me or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, you never know.
I always introduce myself, even a lot of times to people I know well, but haven't seen in a while. I'm like, oh my God, hi. And then I put my hand on my chest and I go, Dana.
Oh, for a minute, I thought you were going to say you put their hand on your chest. I'm like, that is very forward.
And I go, Dana's boobs. Right and left. Nice to meet you.
Well, at least you've met Jennifer Coolidge, unlike me, who's had nothing more than 6 degrees of separation from her.
She's so funny, isn't she?
She's hilarious. And
she was in the Groundlings and people still tell stories about like how bonkers she was. Like she had a messy locker and stuff. Oh. But of course she did. That's what you want from Jennifer Coolidge, right?
I could watch her character in Best in Show all day, every day.
Speaking of Best in Show, I want to murder my dog right now.
Little tap dance for you.
Oh my God. Usually she just goes to sleep, but she got so mad when you came. Then she followed you in here and became your friend.
The dog is like the size of my foot. Yeah. He's petrified of me.
Lucy, go lay down. No, not come here. She doesn't understand English. We rescued her. She came from a Spanish home.
Oh, for real?
For real.
Oh, so you might need to learn a little Bengali.
What?
Means come here in Spanish. I learned that from Rick Moranis in the movie Parenthood.
I can't handle you. Is this the craziest episode we've ever had?
I think it is.
Oh my God. We should move on to our raves and at least put something good into the world for this insanity.
I have a rave for today, but before I get into it, I just want to get Dana's reaction. And sorry if you hear me removing this from the bag.
Oh my God, it's like we're all best friends hanging out.
You know, I keep telling Dana about all these things she should try, and she says, oh no, that's too fancy, or I want this, or I want that.
It's a food?
Well, today I brought pancake bread.
Oh my God.
Which is a twist on a buttermilk stack of pancakes.
A short stack.
Covered with syrup.
Oh my God, into a sweet, moist loaf.
Okay. See, you made it sound sexy.
I know. Are you mad about it?
No.
But I don't like the word moist very much.
I don't know why people have a problem with that. That really tickles me.
Moist?
Yeah.
It feels very crotchy.
Oh, boy.
Is that wrong? Is that bad? This looks incredible.
It is incredible.
Oh my God, I can't wait to eat it.
Yeah.
But you know that I'm going to eat half of it in one sitting.
It's so good, and it's not easy to get. A lot of times it's sold out, so I snatched it when I went to the market the other day.
Oh my God. It says this is 8 servings.
Yeah, right.
No.
It's more like 3.
Maybe, right? Serving size 1/8 of a loaf. No, thank you.
1/8 of a loaf, my foot.
No, I want 8/8 of a loaf.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Jessica.
Of course.
I can't believe I got a present.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to eat that.
We are going to devour it. Okay, guys, for a rave this week, I don't know if people in LA might know about this, especially if you bank at Bank of America, but something they had started.
We are not sponsored by Bank of America, by the way.
No, we are not. Something I had noticed a couple of years ago when I was like at the ATM, it said, and don't forget free museum Sunday with your Bank of America card. So if you banked there, you could show up to a list of museums in your area, and they are a nationwide bank. And just by presenting your card, it got you free admission to the bank. So I was looking up to see if that was still going on, and I came across that we don't just need free museum day. Just in Southern California alone, I think there's a list, and we will definitely post it, of at least 40 museums that are free. And
oh my God.
These are not tiny little museums like in the basement of an old historic home or something. These are legit museums all over Southern California, a large bulk of them within LA County. And if you don't like museums, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah, but there's all different kinds. There's like kids museums, there's art museums, there's special exhibits, I think, if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure that most places have a once a month free day. Am I wrong? I feel like St. Louis may have it. You may, in your community, you may have to do some research, but that's the thing. They don't widely publicize things like that, at least here in LA, because it is very popular. A lot of people really want to go.
Totally.
So you might look in your community and see we have some amazing museums here.
We have
very lucky.
So many good ones. Also, something like the Broad, which was built in LA, I guess, at this point now, almost 2 years ago.
Has it been that long? I still haven't been. And don't they have that infinity room or whatever?
I think that's gone.
Well, thanks for dashing my dream.
I wanted to go to the Infinity Room. I also wanted to go to like the Rain Room when that came to LACMA.
I didn't do that either. And I'm so mad at myself. You know, I did do the King Tut exhibit. It was phenomenal. I did the Titanic exhibit. That was great.
At the Reagan Library?
No.
Okay, because that's where I saw the Titanic exhibit and...
No, this one was the big, like, traveling one at the California Science Museum.
Oh, wow.
Where you put your hand on the ice wall, and you also got a name when you went in, and you found out if you lived or died at the end.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's interesting. We went to what is it called? Not Naval or Nautical Museum. I'm going to really butcher the name of it. When we were in Halifax, Nova Scotia a couple of years ago with my in-laws, and the Titanic crashed, the closest city was Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Really?
So that's where they brought both the survivors and the deceased, and Halifax has a massive museum right on the water there honoring that. That was really cool. Again, unlike the one I saw at the Reagan Library, which Alan and I both concurred was just like
not great
props from the set of the movie. It was there was nothing real from it.
Yeah, I definitely I went and saw the Pompeii exhibit.
Oh yeah,
also not super great. I feel like that's something you probably need to go
to Pompeii.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But museums are a wonderful way to entertain yourself, like trick yourself into thinking it's entertainment, but seeing something cool and learning.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's also great if you have kids and wanna, even if they're little, like I love when I see people with kids that are still in strollers, but the kids, even if they're just looking at art, it's engaging them.
Yes. And I know we live in a place where that stuff is, you know, readily available. Not every place is like that, but if you live near a big city, go. But also don't forget your local communities have. I will go to a Precious Moments Museum. I will go.
What?
Oh my God, we have that back in Missouri.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. What's wrong with you? How do you not know about the Precious Moments Museum?
Crying. Do you also have the collection of willow tree faceless angels from Hallmark?
You mean the one that's like sitting over there on my thing? Is it over there?
I don't
We got
see
one
it.
For maybe Dan put it away with the Christmas stuff. Our nativity is one of those.
I have one because it was a gift, but it means something to me because it came from a dear friend's
Mine
mother.
is sentimental too. Yeah, but
The angel of friendship.
Oh, cute.
She's holding a dog.
Ours is like the Lovers or something, and it's a redhead and a brunette dude.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's really
that's
cute. But there's also there's a museum out here I've been wanting to go to. Well, I've been to the Museum of Death. That's rough.
No, and
That's
no.
rough. That's rough.
That creepy one in Hollywood?
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, I've been. It's rough. But there's also did you know there's a Valley Museum here? And that's what makes me think of smaller communities. Like, look around your town and find, because it's really interesting. There's old signs and stuff from the 70s. It's really cool.
That's neat.
It's in an airplane hangar. Yeah.
Oh.
There's all kinds of stuff.
Also, I want to encourage people, because I have to encourage myself, even if you don't have anyone to go with, or you're going wanting to see something that no one has interest in, go to the museum yourself.
By yourself? I go to stuff like that by myself all the time.
Well, I will now, but when I was in my earlier years, especially of moving to LA, I don't know why I was so tormented that I couldn't go to, if nobody wanted to go, I wanted to go see the Maurice Sendak exhibit at the Skirball Center. Mm-hmm. And nobody would go with me. And again, this is how my cockamamie mind works. I thought, I can't go alone. It's a child's author. People there will think I'm a pedophile if I'm walking. Yes.
No.
So I told enough people who all concurred that I was a complete moron and lunatic for thinking that. And I went to the exhibit and it was incredible. And you know what? Everybody that wasn't interested, you're the one that missed out.
Yeah.
It was a retrospective of every work he had created, even books that are no longer in print that I was, after seeing them on the exhibit, I'm like, ran to the gift shop. I'm like, I need this book. They're like, that's been out of print for like 40 years. They made a life, your little boy would have loved it. They made larger than life installations of every single book.
Oh, cool.
So for the Where the Wild Things Are, there was a whole, interactive play.
Yeah.
They had all the costumes. Kids could put on Max's costume or the monsters. No, that's dirty,
but I'm sure the rest of it was cool.
They had his sailboat bed.
Oh, cool.
They had all these, for the book Chicken Soup with Rice, they could slide down a slide into a massive bowl with like huge styrofoam pellets were the rice, rubber chickens were the chicken.
Cute.
It was delightful.
Also, if you go to a museum alone, you can go at your own pace.
Yes.
You can decide if you want to read everything or if you don't want to. I went to the Body World exhibit 3 times.
Oh, I couldn't handle that.
Oh, I loved it.
I wanted to, but I'm like, I might have nightmares for the rest of my life.
Oh my God, I loved it so much. I went 3 times and not in like consecutive. It was over the years. But one time I went and I read everything. Another time I went and I had already read everything. So I kind of skimmed it. Like, you can go at your own pace.
Right.
I want to travel with someone that's like, I like you and let's go do fun things at night. And during the day, if we both have different things we want to do, let's be cool with that.
Totally.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, especially at a museum.
Yeah. I don't need somebody right beside me at a museum.
No.
When Dan Tipton and I go to exhibits, we go room by room, but we split up in the room.
Same.
And then try and meet up to move to the next.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go.
I think it is. Oh my God, we just solved the world's museum problems. But honestly, any community, look that up. I bet you will find something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every major city has museums, and also your town has museums.
Yeah. Even if they're just very, very local, I bet you would be shocked at how interesting they are. You're going to learn something.
And if you live in Salem, Massachusetts, man,
God,
you have some good museums.
I want to go so bad. My friend Jillian was just there.
Did she go to Nathaniel Hawthorne's House of Seven Gables?
I haven't asked her.
Well, it's really something. It's so cool. I love that whole time period.
Is it ghosty? You know, I love ghosty stuff.
I know. You know what? I didn't feel anything weird. Not that I have a sixth sense or anything, but it's actually very cool. And like the story of the house and everything that came to be. There didn't seem to be anything bad there. And in fact, one of the women who had lived in the house at some point, and this was very ahead of the time, she established a school for immigrant children because everybody was an immigrant back then. But once the people who came over and settled in Massachusetts, once people started coming over that maybe didn't speak English or anything like that, she set up a school to teach them English, to teach them writing, and then also to teach them what we still call today a trade, sewing. I don't know that they had typing back then. I know they didn't, but other skills so that people could use that and they could go on to have a career that could sustain themselves.
Wow.
It was really cool. Like, there's a picture of this lady. She looks like a school marm or like one of the teachers from Harry Potter.
Aww.
And she's in a room with young women. And I'm like, she was doing this that long ago? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me into my rave for the week. And I know we're running short on time, so I'll try to hurry it up. But I wanted to shout out a meme that I saw.
Oh.
And I know that sounds so cheesy, but when people there, you know, you have those friends that always post positive memes, right?
Yeah.
And I am not that person. And I'm sure that person annoys a lot of people. I am their people because I read their stuff and I may not tell them, but I'll take a screenshot of it. And I'm convinced that one of these days I'm going to gather up all my screenshots and make myself a sad day photo book.
Oh.
Where when I'm like not wanting to get out of bed and crying or I want to murder my dog or whatever it is, I can pull out this photo book and just read every positive quote I could. And I just wanted to bring this in today. Here's what it says, and we'll post it.
Okay.
You're too hard on yourself. Take a moment, sit back, marvel at your life, at the grief that softened you, at the heartache that made you wiser, at the suffering that strengthened you. Despite everything, you still grow. Be proud of this.
I love that.
Isn't that nice?
It is nice.
It reminds me of, I don't know if you guys saw that video. It was really, really popular about a year ago. I don't even remember who the woman was, but she had like an online show and she would have women talk about themselves and stuff. And, you know, we, especially women, we're really hard on ourselves and we say the worst things to ourselves in our head and whatever. And then she would pull out a baby picture of them, like from not baby, but like when they were little. And she would say, now say that to this person. And no one could, right? So it's like every time you're talking to yourself like that, you would never say the things you say to yourself to a friend or to baby you.
Right.
But we repeat that shit in our heads all day long.
We do.
And it's not good. We have to try and stop doing that. And I think that's one of the reasons we wanted to create a show like this, because we want we get it. We get aggravated. We're silly. We rant about stupid stuff that, annoys us. And then I make fun of Jessica, and then she makes fun of me because I know nothing. And, it's all fun and games. But at the same time, we're shouting out positivity because it's a time right now where there's a lot of negativity, even in our social media. Yeah. And whatever we can do to fill up our tanks with goodness, we need to. So in your community, there are things that you can do to positively affect yourself or someone else. And we want to encourage people to look for that.
I totally agree.
Jessica.
Dana.
I think that's our show.
I think we did it.
Yay! I want to tell everybody how to get a hold of us. You can reach us through Instagram at The Rants and Raves Podcast. You can reach us on Facebook. We have a page there, The Rants and Raves Podcast. Our website is therantsandravespodcast.com. Email therantsandravespodcast@gmail.com. And then Twitter at Raves_the. Nobody cares.
We've cursed ourselves.
I know. Jessica came today and told me we've manifested this. We have 2 followers on Twitter, and it's you and me. Honestly, we have no one to blame but me.
That's ourselves.
Please rate, review, tell your friends about us, guys. We really want to grow. And most of all, send in the things that bug you. Let us rant about it. Yes. Send in your community things. Send in your good news stories. We want this. It's not just about me and Jessica.
No.
It's about the world. I felt like I was getting too serious, so I did a funny voice. Of course, it's not as good as Jessica's impressions.
You need to work on your accents.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.